Today we're going to be talking about releasing limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck from reaching our vision, from manifesting the vision that we talked about last week. Last week, we answered a series of questions to let go of what doesn't serve us and to welcome in the amazing year that you want to have ahead. We talked about things you might want in your personal life, in your career, with your financial goals, with travel. We talked about health being the number one thing that we should all be focusing on, because without our health, we can't maximize the impact we have in the world, in our families, and in the lives that we truly want to live. So I hope all of you put your health as one of the things down on your vision board this year, because it is the main thing that's going to help you feel your best and be able to get what you want. And today we're going to talk about releasing limiting beliefs that keep you stuck from achieving your goals, because everything that you have up here is either going to help you or hinder you from reaching what it is that you want. And I know this from personal experience. Limiting beliefs often hold us back from fully stepping into our visions. And when it comes to manifesting, breaking free from limiting beliefs is essential. Manifesting isn't just about getting the vision that you want. It's believing that you get to have it. It's believing that you deserve to have it. It's believing that it can happen for you and that it's possible for you. Otherwise, we get in our own way, thinking that it's not possible, that we can't have it, that we don't deserve to have it. And these limiting beliefs keep us continuing to look in the universe, in the world, for evidence that that's true. And what does that do? It keeps us procrastinating. It keeps us dragging our heels. It keeps us stuck in exactly where we are. So limiting beliefs form from a very young age. They're based on our prior experience. They're based on our family. They're based on the way people talk to us. They're based on our experiences of failure or rejection or trauma. And they're based on societal or cultural expectations. You might feel this with your health when you look at Instagram, or you see the next trendy diet or the next fad diet or somebody else's body. These types of cultural and societal norms when it comes to our health also create limiting beliefs. And that's the main thing that I work with my clients on, is really identifying those limiting beliefs that we've collected over our lifetime, and then learning how to release them for ourselves. Today in this live training, I am going to give you some prompts, and I'll give you some ways to release those limiting beliefs by simply coming up with affirmations that are going to help you. But if you need deeper support with any of this, then definitely DM me and we'll talk about how I can work with you to release some of these beliefs. Now, your brain holds on to these beliefs as a way of protecting you. It thinks that you having these negative thoughts is actually going to protect you from anything bad happening. When you experience something, it stores that memory, and it reminds you every time that that particular thing can be bad or traumatizing or sad or any of those negative feelings. So your body is actually asking you, I don't want to experience any negative feelings, so I'm going to do everything I can to not re-experience that. And that's where these negative beliefs come from. 95% of our thoughts, decisions, and actions come from our subconscious mind. And this is where the limiting beliefs live. They live deep in the subconscious mind. So even though you think you want something positive for yourself, like you want to have financial success, you want to grow your business, you want to get healthier, you want to have improved lab results, you want to lose weight, anything that you think may be positive for yourself has subconscious limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And the best way to release those beliefs is to identify them, acknowledge them, and rewrite them, and live by the rewrite every single day. Our brains are also wired with negativity bias, which means that we naturally focus on what's wrong or what could go wrong instead of what's possible. If you remember last week in our vision boarding or our envisioning process, I told you guys that most of the time we tend to think of what's wrong, what we haven't done, what we need to fix about ourselves so that we can make a vision of a life improved. But instead, what we did was we focused on the things that were going right in our life, and we celebrated ourselves, and we celebrated the highlights and the wins first so that we can feel closer to where we want to go. If we feel far away from where we want to go, then that negativity bias is going to come in, and it's going to tell us that it's not possible, that it's too far, that we're dreaming too big, that there's too many things in our way, right? So we want to make sure that we are getting rid of those things because they do block your vision. They block your vision because your vision requires you to take bold action and to step into the unknown and trust in what's possible. Your brain thinks this is very risky, but it's not. So we have to ask the brain, is it true what I think? Is it true what I'm feeling? Is it true what I believe is going to happen? And that's what I'm going to guide you guys through today, is to figure out the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through the limiting beliefs exercise now. Once I'm done with the exercise, I'm going to open up my Zoom room to anybody who wants to join me and wants to ask me some questions or get the worksheet that I've put together for you guys so that you can follow through with this as it pertains to your vision for 2025. This also works for you if you just have a blanket statement goal like I want to strength train 3 times per week this year, or I want to make 50,000 extra dollars this year, anything like that, you can use this worksheet and take yourself through it step by step so that you can release the limiting beliefs that are keeping you from actually having that. Okay. First thing I want you to do is look at your vision board or what you've written down for yourself or your big goal for 2025. The first thing we need to do is to think about that, to envision it, to imagine it, and observe how it makes you feel. Okay, I need you to get in touch with exactly what it is that you want, and then write down a few words of how it makes you feel. It might make you feel really excited. It might make you feel nervous. It could make you feel afraid, like, oh my gosh, could I actually have that? It might make you feel motivated, like this is the year I'm going to do it. It might make you feel really strong thinking about what you want to bring in for yourself. It might actually make you feel weak today because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so far away from that. Anything else, it might make you feel unsure. So I want you to write down those feelings. It's really important for us to write down all of the feelings that we have, the positive ones and the negative ones, because we're going to need to take those negative ones and we want to write down how we want to feel. The reason we're going to do that is because after you write down how you want to feel, I'm going to teach you how to release those negative beliefs, and we're going to see if those feelings have changed. Okay, so we're going to install the new beliefs and see if those negative feelings can be resolved. So if there are any negative feelings about your vision, some of the ones that I listed off, I want you then to write down how you want to feel. So if you feel afraid, you might want to feel motivated. If you feel weak, you might want to feel strong. If you feel unsure, you might want to feel certain. If you feel nervous, you might want to feel excited, right? So you just want to write in a column the negative feelings. And if you're doing this or you're listening to this without the worksheet or without a journal nearby, then just think, okay, here's the negative feeling that's coming up for me regarding my vision. Here's how I want to feel. Once you've identified how you want to feel, you can repeat that word or those words to yourself: excited, certain, positive, energized, whatever it is. And I want you just to allow those words to fill you up. Allow them to fill you up and to feel and to see, for you to see that it's possible for you to feel that way. If we don't believe it's possible, then we're going to continue to let those negative beliefs flood in. So you might even say to yourself, it's possible for me to be excited about this. It's possible for me to be certain. It's possible for me to be motivated towards this goal. Just lean into possibility and really try to feel what that would be like for you to actually feel that way. The next thing you're going to do is to name limiting beliefs, and you're going to use the following prompts. When I work with my clients, we get into unique limiting beliefs going on for them so that you can go through this process. I've put together some prompts of the most common limiting beliefs that we have when it comes to our visions. But if you want to work together on your unique beliefs and work together on releasing or tapping them out, then again, you can DM me and we will talk about having a session to do that. Okay, so the first prompt or the first question that I'm going to ask you is, look at your statement, look at your vision board, look at what you've written down, imagine what it is that you want for yourself. And I want you to ask, is there anything on here that I don't think is possible? Right? You might look at your vision board and see an amount of money and you're like, I don't know why I put that down there. It's not possible for me to have that. So you're going to write the limiting belief. It's not possible for me to make that much money. It's not possible for me to lose that much weight. It's not possible for me to get to the gym that many times. It's not possible for me to eat healthily. It's not, right? So any of those things, just write down what you believe deep down is not possible for you. The second question you're going to ask yourself is there anything I'm afraid won't happen? This is going to help you release the fear. I'm afraid that what? I'm afraid that I won't get to spend as much time with my family. I'm afraid that I won't get to travel to this particular place. I'm afraid that health isn't in my future because of my genetic predispositions. I'm afraid that um, a I'm afraid that a promotion at work isn't possible because the space isn't there. Whatever you're afraid of, go ahead and write that down. The next question is there anything I feel like I can't overcome? Okay, so anything you feel like you can't overcome. I can't overcome the amount of time that I work. I can't overcome the expectations of me at my job. I can't overcome my health challenges because I haven't overcome them yet. I can't overcome, again, anything that you feel like you can't overcome. The next question is there anything I haven't allowed myself to have yet? What haven't you allowed yourself to have? Anything you feel like you've gotten in your own way about it, right? Anything where you feel like you have distracted yourself from having. So, for example, are you not allowing yourself to have better sleep because you're staying up at night, phone scrolling, snacking, or watching television? Are you not allowing yourself to get up in the morning because you keep pressing snooze? Are you not allowing yourself to get stronger even though there's time for you to go to the gym? You're just not allowing yourself to have it. So ask yourself that question. Again, looking at your vision board or thinking about what you want, is there anything that you worry, this is an interesting one, would negatively impact you or your future? You have to dive deep into this one. This is a very common subconscious belief, is that we are afraid that the action that we take is going to impact ourselves or our future. For example, are you afraid that if you eat healthily, you're going to have to eat healthily for the rest of your life? Are you afraid that if you give up alcohol now, you're never going to be able to drink again? Are you afraid that if you try to run a 5K, you're going to get hurt? Are you afraid that if you start weightlifting, you're going to pull your back out? Are you afraid that, right? So we step into this fear of how it's going to negatively impact our future. Somewhere deep down in there, you might believe that this thing that you're going to do is not going to be good for you later. So try to get in touch with that. And then the last question, also super common, particularly for women, is there anything about your future goal, your vision, or what you've written down for yourself that you are afraid would affect other people? Is it bad for you to get healthy for some reason? Is it going to disappoint your mother, right? Or is she always telling you, "Oh, why are you eating healthily? You know, like that's making me feel bad." Or if you're not drinking, do you think it's going to impact your friendships, right? Are you afraid of that? If you go out and take time to exercise for yourself, are you afraid that your kids aren't going to get the quality time with you that they need? Are you afraid that if you don't watch TV at night, then you're not going to be able to get your favorite show in? What are you afraid of? All of this is based in fear, but this particular one is how it would negatively impact other people. We tend to put other people's needs, other people's feelings in front of our own. So we get to ask ourselves, am I deep down believing that this is actually going to impact somebody else? Okay. The next step is to challenge every single one of them. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this true it's going to hurt or harm someone else? Is this true that it will impact my future? Is it true that I have to not allow myself to do something? Is it true that I can't overcome this? Right? Really think about, is that true? Is it true that it won't happen? Is it true that it's not possible? These are just yes or no questions. Is that true? 99% of the time, it's just not true. And in the next part of the exercise, we're going to rewrite those negative beliefs or those limiting beliefs to prove that it's actually not true. Okay. So let's go through them again, and then I'm going to give you the sentence starter for the rewrite of the limiting beliefs. When you rewrite them, you are training your brain to look for them. When you rewrite them every day or you post them somewhere conspicuous and you read them, you are training your brain to continue to look for them. So my suggestion is to go through these, to rewrite your limiting beliefs with the prompts that I'm going to give you, and then read them or put them somewhere conspicuous every single day, maybe next to your vision board, so that you can look at your vision and you can remind yourself of the beliefs you get to have about yourself to make this vision come alive. Here's the first prompt. Remember, the first prompt was, is there anything on here I don't think is possible? The prompt that you're going to use, or the sentence starter, is, I deserve for this to happen this year. I deserve for this to happen this year. And I don't want you to just write the affirmation. I want you to write the proof. So we're going to add on to it, because I deserve for this, whatever it is, I deserve for a promotion to happen this year because I have put in the hours at work for this many years, and so is leaving their position. So write down why you deserve it. For the second prompt that we went through, the second limiting beliefs, is there anything I'm afraid it won't happen? You're going to say things like this work out for me, such as, right? Things like this work out for me. I want you to think about things that have worked out for you. Things like this have worked out for me, such as I got a job, such as I finished my book, such as I went for walks with a friend last year. Things like this work out for me, such as, any evidence that you have that things like this have worked out for you in the past. So we're drawing on your experience to prove, like, hey, this isn't true. Things have worked out for me. These are the things that have worked out for me. The next one, is there anything I feel like I can't overcome? The affirmation to challenge that is, I know I can overcome this because in the past I overcame. What is something that you overcame that was just as challenging or just as hard, right? Maybe it's parenting. Maybe it's some sort of thing at your job. Maybe it's hardship. Maybe it's the challenge of dealing with the death of a family member. I'm just thinking of things in my life, right? Maybe the challenge of starting a new job. So I know I can overcome this because in the past I overcame. The next one, whatever your limiting belief was with not allowing yourself to have it, you're going to write, I am worthy of receiving this. I am worthy of receiving this because. Why are you worthy of receiving it? What do you believe about yourself that makes you worthy of receiving something amazing? What makes you worthy of it? Are you a good person? Are you in service to others? Do you work hard? Do you love unconditionally? Do you look at the world in a special way? Like, what do you do? Who are you? And I'm sure that you can find ways that you are worthy of receiving something. The next limiting belief that we talked about was having a negative impact on your future. The affirmation that you can use to replace that is, instead of, I'm afraid that this will have a negative impact on my future, my vision for blank is good for me because. So you're going to say why it's good for you and why it's good for your future. For example, if you are in your way about choosing exercise because you're afraid that it's going to cause some sort of injury, maybe in the past you had an injury, right? I want you to say, my vision for getting stronger is good for me because it will extend my life. It is good for me because it will strengthen my bones. It is good for me because it will help me feel better in my body. Any reason that it's good for you. So my vision for this is good for me because. The next one and last one, remember, is about other people. My vision for blank is good for others because. Let's use the exercise example again. Let's say that you don't think that going out and exercising is good for your kids because you're taking time away from them. My vision for exercise is good for others because it means I get to spend more time with them. It means I have more energy to hang out with them. It means I feel better about myself, which helps me show up as a better version of myself for them. Okay? These are the prompts. These are the questions you ask yourself. And these are the affirmations that go ahead and challenge those. And those are the affirmations that I want you to print out. And I want you to use them every single day next to your vision or your idea or whatever it is you want for 2025 so that you can get out of your own way in your head when it comes to receiving that. Finally, I want you to ask yourself, do any of your negative feelings change as a result of rewriting all those? So if you had any negative feelings in the beginning about your vision that were coming up, once you read all of those affirmations, I want you to think, did any of your negative feelings change? So the goal of this is for you to feel into the positive feelings about your vision in general and use those affirmations so that you can move forward. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share the worksheet with anyone who wants to join my Zoom room. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys to join, and I will take any questions and give any resources that you might need in the Zoom room now. Let me copy that. Okay, I see Sarah and Danielle. Okay. I went ahead and put my Zoom room in there. When you guys join, I will get the worksheet to you. And if you have any questions, I can answer them there. And I look forward to seeing anybody who wants to join. I hope you have an awesome day. And if you're watching this on the replay, just comment replay so I know who's here tuning in.